Good morning. Best of the best. Practitioners of love and light. I welcome you. Rebuke all other energies that come in with their falsehoods, ill intentions, etc. I don't need to elaborate. We're going to keep it clean here. Oh, yes, we are. I'm liking the record that we're setting here, the precedents for what's to roll out. Okay. Angels of light and love, I welcome you in. Jesus Christ, of course you are welcome, Spirit. Most certainly. And my core divine team, my inner circle. I didn't intend on using this deck, but just like putting things back in order. So we have the Two of Pentacles inverted. Okay, finding inner balance, achieving inner balance. In fact, yes, it's on its way. So in private mode, we know that we have not just the attempts, but the intent to achieve that, to establish that, because there's just a lot of things going on. So at this point, we just need to narrow it down to, just, how do I say it? Clarify things through simplicity. That's all. Okay. So that's what we're doing. Let's go ahead and just put that as the header card. Okay, that's the main intent. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. Four of Cups. Inverted or muted. I think I'm just caught up too much in the moment. Not really in the feels, but in the feels of the moment that is implied to me. So, okay. One step at a time, okay? Because I recorded something last night, and it was just a big flop, let me tell you that. It was like, Tina forgot about her little mantra thing going on, what was it? How did we word it? I am determined to stay positive, okay? Because I was verbalizing all these, like, possibilities, like, what is it that, the opposition that's so hard, coming down so hard on me, like, well, what is their intent? Is it, what's their end result? Like, do they want to crush me within a certain atmosphere of, like, what am I supposed to do? What do they have in mind? Visualization that would satiate, them in order to back off. And it's like, I don't even think that's what it's supposed to be doing. I mean, they might have their own stuff going in mind, but the purpose of this is to elevate me. I mean, like it always does. Two of Cups upright. That's okay. And then the Six of Cups in reversal. So it's achieving the harmony, but also the detachment of, like, knowing that even though on a soul level, they're basically fulfilling their contracts in the ethers, basically beyond the veil. Okay, that they are still, like, soul family. Okay, that it's rightly intended, but here, like, the aesthetic value of it is an illusion of, like, BS. And so, regardless, I can't hold those intentions beyond the veil. How do I say it? I am not supposed to favor what those intentions are beyond the veil and hold them to it down here. So I'm not, like, when it comes to fulfilling contracts, there's no favoritism when it's brought down here and delivered accordingly. Okay, I just need to find the harmony, simplify, right? It's a third of what's going on here. So it's the selfish grace of, what is that? The rule of thirds? On a very basic level. Okay. Yeah, I had to jump out of it and then archive that energy because it started off okay, like reading it okay, but then it came to this part where I was not fulfilling that mantra. I told you totally forgot about it. So here we are again to jumpstart our day, not to get aggravated about what I have no control over. And or where I'm not at right now. I know I'm supposed to be doing something wonderful, like magnificent with my life. Like the impact is insane. But I just am not seeing that right now. 8 of Cups. Time to kind of step out and see the bigger picture without looking back. Interesting. Are we okay now? Okay, so where we left off, it felt like this was important, is that we're stepping away to capture the bigger picture. The biggest picture that we can possibly capture, okay, without looking back, okay? That's important. That's where it got interrupted so synchronously. I feel like that's important. Okay, a lot of cup energy here. It cut over to the start. To be able to see that I am one of them. Okay, not this like temporary satiability, not like all the drama that's happening. We're all are stacked. Yeah. But definitely it's about simplifying because we show that the cards are letting loose, 2 at a time, the water. Or the cups. So we're seeing that there. Or at least I am. I'll speak for myself on this one, okay? I'll speak for myself. I know I have viewers. I know I have underground, like, very elite people. Not just celebrities, but hidden elites watching. So 9 of Cups and the Lover's card in reverse. Yeah, very undercover. So I'm going to be happy with what I return. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And you see a lot of that within astral projections or remote viewing or etc., etc. So we have 2 of Cups again. I told you, it's like, psych, we're here. Ding dong. That is what's happening. Okay. So I don't know if we're supposed to use this deck. I thought I got out another deck. Give me a second. Where did I put that? Okay, so I guess wait, am I doing this? See, if you're not paying attention, things can get jumbled up quite easily, darlings. But yeah, it was like a huge snowball effect, and I don't know if it pertained to one of like my viewers that like is trying to do like magic on me or something. I don't know, but it's strange to me how anybody would get, you know, would be interested in me one at a time. You know, it's very suspicious. So I'm pretty easygoing when it comes down to it, because everyone will get exactly as they deserve. So, Seven of Wands in reverse and the High Priestess. Yeah. So I think it's about staying humble about your power, Tina. Okay. Staying strong. Like, you already know. You know. You're sitting upright, above ground. Everything's good. You know you hold the higher hand, but others are trying to humble you. Energetically speaking, you know, they like to know that they're the hot stuff. They've got it going on. That they have an underground crew, that they're that good. But no, you've got it, Tina, and don't let them muffle your voice. Don't let them, like, whatever. You know, you can play dead. You can pretend like you're knocked off your horse, knocked off a pedestal or whatever perceived pedestal, and you just know. That's all there is to it. So you're humble, and you're just gonna, like, let it go. If I don't have the numbers, then I don't have the numbers. It's fine. Like, I know reality from fiction, so it's okay. That's why I'm gifted with such. Two of Cups. We're back at it again. Finding that harmony, that peace. It's all okay. Like, I'd hate to think what it would be like to have the numbers, but know that you're not really creating impact. That you just have the reach, but you don't even know what to do with it. Like, you're not really, like, the world is exactly how it was, like, 5 years ago from when you, like, last dipped into the pot, you know? I mean, when you got introduced to it anyway. So it's, you know, you pick your battles. I'm okay. Because something tells me that as I progress, I mean, it's not even a race. Like, I may or may not see the transpiring of my investments into, like, great wealth in this lifetime, but I know up ahead, like, I'm completely revered for what I do, what my impact is. And that's, you know, many stages from now. Yeah. But right now, my galactic family is the angelic realm. Those from the beyond have my back. They know exactly how I'm invested. And it's good, you know. Not a lot of people can say that legitimately. But I know. So I'm going to keep investing in myself. It's been... One fell on the ground. Oh, it's the Emperor. Spirit is looking out for me. Look at that. Actively. It was on my doing side. Spirit's looking out for me actively. Thank you, Spirit. Awesome. Yeah. That's all there is to it. Anybody who comes up against me in such severity will be shown the way out, and they will be shown a certain realm that they are not accustomed to dealing with. They'll know it on a very private level, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm supposed to work for myself, because a lot of people work within fear, live within fear, you know. So, I was gonna say that I checked my history list and my viewing, excuse me. Here I am trying to be cognitively, like, mindfully present in in being eloquent. And that's just tripping me up. So I just got to do what I got to do, because I do that best. And I checked that list, and I was going to say, before I even thought to check myself, I was so eager and excited to announce to the world that I didn't watch anybody's readings for at least a week. And that's not true. That's just the vibe of it, the feels of it, because I watch multiple on a norm per day, like simultaneous to whatever I'm doing, or just isolated to that. And I was told, no, we're going to try this out. Every time that I have decided not to anymore, this is, because the world becomes just unreliable and sells out, many do. Okay, not everybody. So, there were wonderful, magnificent changes and upgrades. So, in all reality, the last reading, or the last I watched someone's reading, was on Monday. It's only been 4 days, for goodness sakes. 4.5, counting, But even still, I'm proud of myself, because you got to start somewhere. And I'm just going to pat myself on the back for that. Because I already gave up certain things, just to purify myself. So all of the things that are considered bad, I don't do anymore. I haven't done for a while. And I don't feel like it drives me crazy at all. I feel like it's not even a burden. But this particular thing about pretending as though I have friends, or trying to upgrade the colleague status to partnerships, I really got to focus on what I'm doing, because there's just so much. People are, on your team, they'll remain, within your support crew, regardless of whether or not you shut that door. So I am doing what I can and investing in myself on every level that I can possible. Meaning, I'm not going to rely on the messaging of what other people receive, regardless of how adept they are. I think I'm skilled enough in order to attain those answers, and minus all of the distractions of petty details. Because it's like, once you get like these these extra details of what's going on, or what this person is all about, or intentions, etc., it becomes like really juicy, like, oh my goodness, like, and then what? And that's not necessary. For my life path, that's not necessary. So, Spirit, what do you want to say? Okay, you want those cards? Okay, 4 of Swords in reverse. It's recovery. It's recuperation. Get back at them, because we got to do some cleanup. We got to deal with, in order to, get the most out of the benefits, how do I say it? The pros of that decision that we made, that executive decision that we made, or several, we have to deal with the perceived consequences. We have to deal with the cleanup. We have to deal with data migration. We have to, you gotta do those things. I gotta find a new lawyer, or I have to Aaron Brockovich my way right now. So then 10 of Cups in reverse and 6 of Wands in reverse. So that's what lays dormant right now. I mean, it's in the works. So it doesn't feel like victory. It doesn't feel like ultimate happiness, but it's paving road for such. Okay, is there anything else that you would like to add? Jesus, what do you got to say about that? I mean, those last two cards, did I complete the messaging in that, or is there more to it? Okay, bird came. 9 of Cups upright, 8 of Wands in reverse, and Justice in reverse. No, they said, nope, be happy with what you've delivered independently at that. There's nothing more that needs to be said, you know? And then about that particular thing. And then Justice is already on it, like it's already like growing beneath the surface. So once it comes through, it comes through like by many sprouts. So it's like this one root thing, and then many shoot off of it. Okay, so like even though you feel like, oh, that's one surprise, oh, that's great, wonderful, and then you think you have to like move on into like the next phase of challenges. While that may be true, there are some resting points in the fact that like, oh, there's another sprout, you know. So That's what Jesus is saying. It's just like, yeah, you got it, and that's good. But then there's some. You know, there's more to it than that. That's wonderful. That's laying right beneath the surface. So don't be quick to judge at surface level. Like beauty is only skin deep, right? So don't be quick to judge how wonderful things are, like because you want to aesthetically like keep things sound. So like, oh, I know what that is. You stick a label on it and then we're done. No, this is an ongoing journey. Okay. Boop. Yeah, ongoing journey for sure. Holy smokes. Jesus is crazy. Okay, 5 of Cups. Yeah, we said goodbye. It's an ongoing journey. And then bottom, our ongoing journey, a Death card in reverse, it's transformation. By saying goodbye to things and then moving like forward. That's insane. You're crazy. That is crazy stuff. Holy smokes. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. 3 of Swords. Okay, so what is this heartbreak all about? What do you want to talk about there? It hit the Emperor card. It's 9 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so there is some heartbreak. Yeah, if you're going through dissolution, divorce, or family court or whatever, there is some heartbreak involved. However, this is kind of like past tense. People like trying to shove past tense into your face, into the judge's face, into the lawyer, like their supporting lawyer's face. Like they're trying to shove that, like, oh look, you know, poor me card, poor me. And then Spirit's saying, like, don't worry, I got you. Don't worry about it. People know toddler mentality when they see it. Like, the aesthetics of, like, the Gerber baby, like, child poster, you know, poster child, whatever, face, blue eyes or whatever. It doesn't always satiate a crowd. Let me tell you. Like, old ways are diminishing. They're becoming obsoleted. People are tired of the BS that, you know, where others have taken advantage of aesthetic leverage. So, let's know. I mean, this even goes when you're, like, dating someone, you know, like in your college years or whatever. It's like, this doesn't have to go for like middle age or whatever, but this is transient within its nature, these behaviors. So just know that like people are always going to like pull this, you know, out in the open. And it's like, nah, you know what, I'm done with that. You know, let them do their own thing. And then for me, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm not going to lose sight over the next day. That's why I had to cut the reading short yesterday, or cut the reading off. Like, it was a snowball. And, yeah, so that's where we're at. Bottom of the deck, 4 of Wands. Okay. We've been building roots the whole time in more recent times. And now we get to see things like come into fruition. This is home and hearth. This is the most wonderful partnerships that become kin energy, where it's not manipulated through double talk. Yeah. And I'm so glad that I left those those related relationships behind. I realized that, people just want to feel good with whatever they're doing because they are earning so much, and they're able to create some kind of independence, etc. And it's like, no. Those were not real friendships. I realized that those relationships tied to my ex, they weren't real. They're like, I was so good of a friend to them. And just because I'm a few years short from their prior commitment, it's like that has become an obligation now. The fact that I am devalued on, gosh, wow, I am shocked. But it's okay. It's a reality check of relationships that that are not worthy of my best presence. They're not worthy. And I think if they look at things in hindsight, they know it. They sold out. So, to satiate their own comforts. So, you gotta, just face reality. You cut your losses and you triumph in your wins. And even with your losses, you have to, Tina, you gotta triumph over that. Bravo. You did it, Tina. And those are, what do you call it? Quiet wins. You know how they say it's quiet quitting? These are quiet wins. And nobody's going to pat you on the back for it. And that's okay. I don't need anybody to pat me on the back for it. I know I'm good now. I don't have to fake anything. I don't need to pretend that I don't have a point of view just so that somebody else feels better about what they're doing or what they're not doing. No thanks. Bottom of that is, 5 of Pentacles. Despite the winter, despite the cold, and isolation and being left out, I still have this. What a contrast that this is hiding this, or this is encased by this. You know what I mean? I can deal. I can deal with those cards. I understand what that means. King of Cups in reverse. That's the Jesus energy right there. That's Jesus watching for me in the underworld. This is the equivalency of the highest of the high. Most time. This is because there's a contrast to this. Spirit is watching for me in the underworld. Underground, shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Because right there, that's a devil. On the surface level, I'm overcoming a lot of ways that do not serve me well. The reactivity, I don't need to deal with that anymore. I don't control anybody. I just control myself. Even when it comes to the day-to-day activities of, I'm not going to watch another person's readings anymore. I am able to get the messaging that I need, and I'm not getting the reciprocation that, the mutual, how do I say it? Equivalent reciprocation. So, I I see that I have watchers. I see that I don't have, those watchers are not liking my things. You know, they're not really supporting me in a way that I am supporting them. Even historically speaking, those that I've invested in way back when, I used to comment on their stuff. I used to like really like just be super invested, and even to this day, years later, I don't have the same return. It's time to do away with those relationships. So I am surfacing, materializing the devil card in reverse, like no more. And there's not going to be any more hidden agendas in the works that will be effective, because Spirit is right there watching everything. Like, this is the gatekeeper for reals. So yeah, I don't really need to say anything about that. Top of the deck is, it's the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my goodness, this is no joke, no secret. It's apparent. Things are turning within my favor. And regardless of whatever rolls out, they're still in favor of my growth. Like ultimately my abundance. If there's anything that looks like a hiccup, a snag, a whatever, a hindrance, it's really not. It's an illusion. Everything is happening within my favor. I know what I've invested. And it wasn't 100% to be like just in my favor. It's for the greatest good. So I can tell because of how I read for the respondent's attorney. I can tell there's a huge difference. Like, any other person would have been super biased about it, but I just left it open. Like, I'm supposed to read what I'm supposed to read, so just do what you do best, okay? So that's excellent, you know? Regardless, it's in my favor. So, you know, Spirit is saying, or even Jesus, you know, the beyond, is saying that sometimes we need repetition to learn, validation points. We cannot always rely on the external to do that for us, regardless of how good we are and adept we are in whatever field, or even within our efforts. Even if we work so hard at it that it causes, like, you know, your stomach to growl, like physical manifestations of, you know, how much you invested in something else, you know, while it compromising, you know, the time that you put into yourself, or, you know, like even just your health and wellness. So just those energetics alone, those investments, like you don't have to worry. You can ask Spirit and the angels for confirmation. They'd rather do that than have to tap you on the shoulder and say, you made another mistake. You know, turn around. You know, so asking for a hug, basically, and that's basically what we're doing. So don't think that it's causing disruption in the ethers, that, like, you shouldn't be apologetic for asking for a hug, you know. You shouldn't be apologetic for asking like what the progress report is, or a simple check-in, or validation that is substantial. What is up with my stomach? Yeah, I think it's so extreme on this earthly plane that I'm that it's okay for me to ask from Spirit, from Jesus, from the angels, from my team, like how good I am, or how well I'm doing, or what's going on, you know. That repetition is okay. What's going on with my stomach? Okay, manifestation is the moon. So within this context, it's saying that we hold the light, we hold the torch for others, even for darkness as it leers from beyond. This also says that those that like are hidden in the arena, that, you know, like that wolf energy is also not supremely against us. Like they're inspired, they're almost like mesmerized by that torch, like by guiding light, and they do have your back. Not 100% of them, but it's kind of like, you know, the polarized effect, like it's 50-50 basically. You know, the concept of it anyway. So that's what I've got there. Behind that, oh yeah, Three of Cups. Sure, these wolves celebrate me. You see, there's three right there, and then it's right behind it was a Three of Cups. It's like, because I did a reading like yesterday or something that had this as like kind of like a negative card describing respondent's attorney and the ways of them. But I'm like, so there was just some, like, I had to check myself in order to figure out, like, am I reading this from the right stance? And yeah, this is, since that's behind it, it's for sure. So behind that, yeah, I had to look at things objectively, like, is that right? And it is. It is. One more card, Strength in reverse. It's, for this, it's not just strength training, but the resilience of what, like, becoming more adept in looking at things objectively. Because if this is paired together, it's like you're holding strong even while looking at things at a distance. Yeah, because you know that you don't control everything. And you have to look at the bigger picture. So there is strength in being able to step back. And withhold, like, further interaction. Dude, my stomach, what is going on? I don't even, like, there's no pain or anything. It doesn't feel like I, like, have any issue. It's just things are processing what is going on. That's funny. I'm so glad that that's not happening, like, while I'm, like, at an interview. But, yeah, Ten of Swords. What's the deal with that? Why did I get that? Page of Wands. I think because of, you know, the trials, because of the extremes, like I said, it leads us to start something new. Like, hey, I see something better over here. Never mind all of that. Let's move past that. So what are we doing with that? Again, so it parted here. It's being hands off with, like, not micromanaging. It cut through here. I said parted through here, so I think there's been a change in my viewers here, because before there was an implication towards people who would normally self-harm, like, oh, it cut itself again, it cut itself again. That's what I would naturally come to say in this. So whether you're the same crowd or, like, the energy that's dominant here is are people who are becoming healthier in their ways. So even if that was a prior instance or a new crowd, that's what this energy depicts. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, coming back more lightweight. Because you already did the delivery. It took time to deliver the goods, but now you're coming back lighter weight, so the journey is quicker. What's behind that? King of Wands. I think this is being ultimately confident with the delivery, like what you've done, and you're just coming back more focused and buoyant, and yeah. Because this is delivering precious cargo. You have to make sure that you're very aware of your surroundings as you're passing through new territory, or even the old, where people think that they can knock you down because you feel safe in a certain, you know, within a certain familiarity. I think that's what happened yesterday energetically while I was doing my tarot. I think that's what was happening. Because it's very familiar territory for me, and for somebody to knock me down and feel like it's what I'm doing is not enough, that's the same energy that my ex would, try to dish out at me. And then his friends, because, it's like if I stroke their ego just as much, then they would be, more understanding of what I'm going through. And if not, they're due to learn through other ways. They're going to encounter the same thing. They're due to. That's just the fact of things. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a dream card out. Dream inspiration card. Just a dream card out. Spirit, angels. Jesus, what do you want me to focus on right now? What is it? Okay. Those two it is. Okay. Okay, they're inverted. Okay, let's take a look at it. Oh, okay. So, this is like the never-ending story. The person made of rocks, okay? A giant made out of rocks, but it's inverted. So it's, there's something about being stationary and ancient, but being, the benefit of that is seeing like what's going on around him. So it has that cave energy, but it's more put out there. So it's inverted cave. It's like Hanged Man, but also the hermit mode as well. It's that very, that's a hybrid of the in-between, where you're learning about yourself, like inside out. That's 100% what that's saying right there. That's interesting. And the growth involved in it, the journey of passing through, that the only way to gain entry through like what is it they call it, the lazy river in Raging Waters or something like that, through this portal or through either portal is through the calm. That's interesting. Okay, what is going on? So there's plenty of wisdom within this pursuit. A lot of oyster shells, a basket of it. But then as well, there's like people coming out of the grave right here, or people wanting to be like creep away, like into their own grave. And then there's people because of that. I mean, they're doing that because they see that I think there's like really, we have like people that are really like hard up against us because we see severed heads right here on a plate, on a silver plate, delivered. Those are messages from the divine. So I told you things are happening behind the curtain. Like people are being cut loose for sure, if not passing away. And so people are trying to creep up into their grave. Like, I don't want any of that. Like, I'll just like, I don't want that to happen to me. So I'm just going to like, it's not even hide away. Like I will find a way to like go away. But it's about looking at the webs that we weave and for what purpose and what location. Like, why did we choose this location? Is it an ideal position for us? Because our web is our web. It's our abundance. It's but the game changer is location, the discernment of what's the most opportune place. In fact, I saw a spider in my garden, and it was, it was chill. It was doing its thing, like not bothering anybody, and had its web like in a place that like, wouldn't bother anyone. And I realized I was getting like, little flies on like one of my vegetable plants. Like it just started swarming in. So I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and put this plant bucket of vegetables by this web. So I'm like, you know what, you do you. Hopefully that brings you in more, and that's it. Usually I don't do that. I usually don't ever do that. So, because I was happy. I found it agreeable. The place that this spider took, I'm good with it. Okay. Because you're not going to kick out every single sentience that you predominantly like don't agree with. Like, you gotta let certain, live and let live kind of thing. And I found it agreeable, so I'm like, here you go, feast. So learning about yourself inside and out. Okay. Then we have this where like the time is ticking. Like this reminds me of like a base nectar video. It was something about like coming out of a cocoon and you're floating to here and there within a building. There's some chaos going on, like a whirlwind or whatever. People are like, what's going on? It's because of her. What's going on? Yeah, people like chaos. People running. It's like, oh my gosh. Veering off of cliffs. Inclement weather. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, it has to do with our energetics, like the tone that we're setting. People got to deal with their stuff, for sure. And so we have to keep healthy, and keep light as, flying a kite, the joy that it brings. It's just like this weightlessness of all the things that, all the tricks that it can do within this weightlessness and going with the wind. The flow of that, but not being, how do I say it? There's something about the control. It's divine timing. Whatever's happening within this ascension is divine timing, because the hair, like her hair follicles, which are spiritual antenna, right, are connected to these time slots here. Definitely. So people can say whatever they want to say on the initial, but when it comes down to it, they're going to see what this all means, and they're going to be outmoded for sure. This is a very internal process. I mean, to get these two cards back to back, it says a lot. Okay. All right. Now time for bananagrams. Okay. Okay, what was that? L. Okay. Okay. OUNDWSEYTIENAPGIORJVT. I see Lord again, but I also see Lords, like that place. Is it Lords, France? I don't know. Tina, dilate. My tummy, holy smokes. Purity. Tent. Spy. Want. Nate. Orion. Lyran. Lyra. Or Lyran. Pleiades. Vote. Trove. Troop. Interesting. I'm hearing galactic troop, so far beyond. I mean, they have accessibility too here, so that's cool. Vinny, Paul, Pete, Peter, Okay, so Trina, Irene, Eileen, Ian, Ron, Ronnie, Randy, Randy sometimes, it's like periodically, I don't know why, but, Rhonda. It was 20% battery, so when I called Rhonda's name, so I think Rhonda didn't really want to, like, she kind of hides away when she's called out. I don't know why. Annie, Steve, Steven, Gary, Duran, Joy, Jovi, Esther, but without the H, Lester, Easter, Void. So, again, this is about ascension. This is about resurrection. Okay, it's about time. I mean, we did call upon Jesus energy and learning about, like, yourself inside out, as well as, like, the karmic balancing out. Like, people they'll come to know their mistakes. Okay, but they're more apt to learn if you're not rubbing it in their face, like, I told you so. So let it just be. Okay. Swept. Interesting. Yeah, people are getting swept away by their own karma. Diana, Anita, Wes, Nora, Nadine. Actually, yeah, Nadine. Lisa. Elias. Noreen. Leanne. Leah. Nolan. Lydia with an I or a Y. Aaron. There's multiple ways you can spell Aaron here. Anything else? Alvin. Yeah, there's a lot of names in here. Do we want to say anyone else? Gina, J or G, whichever one, or with an E or two E's. It's multiple ways of spelling Gina here. Gianna. Gerald? There's Gerald here. We haven't seen Gerald in a long time. Okay. So I'm going to put Easter here because we did call in Jesus energy, and I gotta respect that. So it's looking at, resurrection. Okay. The void. VPN. Okay. Astound. Okay. Yeah. These people are astounded right here about the things that they're encountering, as well as, our relation to it and how we got through a lot of that ourselves. Our transition. Astound. It's astounding. Yeah. It's like ever present. Like how that's a lot of work. People are going to realize how much work that I know, at least that I put in through the things that they have to go through. I see VIP. Void. Okay. And I think in some ways this is self-discovery, so I'm going to find it astounding what I can accomplish within this essence of the void. So we have 5 consonants left. So joy. Astounding what joy I can find within the void. Being left alone. Pew. I mean, it could be like pew pew, but it's also like the pew, the benches that you sit on in a sacred place. Regardless of what religion it is, it's a pew. Because there's 2 places that you can place it. Easter gives the offering of being seated like first or like towards the last before the resurrection. I'm going to show you why. Just give me a second. So we have L remaining. Like you take your losses. You know what I mean? Like you cut your losses, but you also take them with like some grace, and you're going to make something of it. So we started with it and we ended with it. So let me see that if there's another place to put it. Some of you might be in Las Vegas because I'm trying to find placements for it, and there's void and LV that's the place to put it. Some of you are in the Netherlands, so we have NL. Yeah, a few of you are, at least 2 of you, like the percentage of like 2% of you at least are from the Netherlands. GL, I'm hearing like guiding light. I don't know why, but that's the very bottom for GL. GL is like, it's like a ledger code of finances, the allotment of certain coding to certain expenses, so that when finances roll in, you're able to characterize and group certain expenses towards a different realm. Okay, so we're looking at GL codes here. Anything else? Any other place that I can go? I'm looking at the angle of I like it. So give me a second. I'll show you. So looking at that, okay, Easter pew. So we could seat it right at the front, or we could seat it towards the back, closer to like right before the resurrection. So regardless of whether you take practice like like seriously, like are very disciplined in that, like getting the first seat, showing up like on time, if not a bit early to get seated, discipline in that. Or if you find discipline within it later in life, before the resurrection, that's like the last seating, like that's a curtain call before that happens. So we see all of this happen. GL codes right there. I don't see any other place where L can be put. See, Netherlands, right? And then, but right here, I mean, that's more of like an article for, an article word for, in French. But, so LV right there. But, what I'm seeing, the niche for it, or the niche anyway, is I like it. You know, I like what this presents for me. I get chills up my spine, something like that. But finding the angle between, something that can connect our experience, a salvaging experience, with something that feels like, that could feel empty. And once you transition within its polarity, knowing that the darkness also implies light within its existence, its polarity. It's already like illuminating in itself within that truth. So we've got that right there. Okay. Very, very nice. And it's also like an in-your-face type of thing when you look at how many times Jesus was shot down. And that's part of the sacrifice and acceptance, that people are going to be within their ways until they know better. So it's like that pew pew energy of like in your face, because I just resurrected, So the people that shot him down are the ones that has the biggest impact on, like, oh, that's never happened. So anyway, now that this reading is officially over, I thank all my sponsors, all my supporters, all donations provided in light and love. Thank you, angels, all the teams that, really just helped me beyond the veil and in front of it. Thank you so very much. In the many ways that you assist, I do understand how things can transpire behind the scenes or in the background, things that I don't, just because I don't see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. And I got a flavor for that like earlier this week. It's wonderful to be able to see that. It binds the trust factor, like it just embellishes upon it. So I'm happy with that. And yeah, and that gives like so much more weight to the fact that like I don't control everything. So in the fact of surrender, it's not the loss of control. It's not the acknowledgement of loss of control, but that you never had it in the first place and you were never meant to. So just let it go. Whatever's meant to happen will happen. All you can do is deliver your best. And that goes for anyone, whether they work in light or dark. That is the truth, the reality, and like that holds the greatest substance, which turns you to the light. So that's all there is to that, because like the things that you don't control are, some things are directly working within your favor, Tina. You just don't know it yet. So have some gratitude, buck up, pick yourself up. Everything's going to be wonderful. We had the Wheel of Fortune right there, and all of these other like validating data points. Excellent. Okay. So now that my lips are chapped and I gotta take care of myself, and this, whatever I can, it's time to put this to a close, this reading. Yes. All right. So now that this reading is officially over, upon closing this portal, I send all energies back to their own locations. I send you all back with your appropriate karmas due, thanking you for your respect in advance. Sending you all back, helping you initiate the forces that need to initiate within your own life. Who could reciprocate on the helping hand? So it's okay. You got Jesus here. Sending you all back with your appropriate karmas due. Closing all portals now.